From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBacks PrimeTime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show at the PrimeTime Angles Live. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And I got my main man with me, the one and only Jeff Dawson, the Don of Cape Cod himself. Well, he's not the one and only Jeff Dawson, but he is the Don of Cape Cod. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and bring him on in. So there he is, the man himself. What's going on, Jeff? How's everything going? You got that serious look today.
It's draft day, right? Am I ahead of myself, or are we at draft day?
Yeah, draft day, brother. So pretty much how you feeling about it today?
You know, it's funny. In the last hour, all of a sudden now there's steam on Trey Lance going third. I just think it's so comical. I'd say about a week, 10 days ago, when Mac Jones was making that big move, we said, hey, Mac's the guy. But, you know, you want to throw some beer and pizza on Trey Lance at plus 450, go ahead, just, to hedge yourself a little. And now all of a sudden he's the favorite. They're also throwing out there that they called up the Packers looking for Aaron Rodgers and the 3 picks. So I don't know. I mean, this is the most comical thing going on. It really is. You don't give up as much as they did not to have a plan. So it's comical. We're excited. I just want to get the show on the road.
I heard that because it seems like there's going to be a lot of there could be some trade-ins. I'm thinking that maybe Atlanta might be moving from their spot if the price is right. And I think Denver is probably pretty much telling us right now that the number 9 pick is up for grabs as well, too, getting Teddy Bridgewater and everything like that, because I would think they would have reserved that nice spot for whatever quarterback was left over. But they're saying to themselves that they're willing to go ahead and wait and go with Teddy Bridgewater. And, just in case, pretty much they don't get the quarterback that they want. I don't think that they were too impressed with all the quarterbacks that were in the group. So I think that's why they went after Teddy Bridgewater. Let's get into that. Teddy Bridgewater just was traded from the Carolina Panthers to the Denver Broncos. What does that bring to the situation, Jeff?
I'm a little on the other side with you on both sides here. I think the move to get Bridgewater, them trading him to Denver, is giving them an opportunity still to draft a quarterback. I mean, if they like Justin Fields, it's a perfect spot to grab him.
Right.
You can now, just like Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith, you can hand Justin the clipboard and say, hey, let's take a year. Let's let Teddy, mentor you. And Arnold, they haven't picked up his 5th year yet. So, you could have a quarterback just there for a year. So he is under the tutelage of Justin Fields and Arnold. And I think the same in Denver. I really do, Pops. I think if Lance makes it to them, they could say, hey, we got Teddy for a year. Let's do the same with Trey here, because they've been trying to find a quarterback. And no disrespect to Teddy. I think he's a gamer. He had a horrific injury. He's been able to succeed in the NFL. I'm not saying that he's an elite number 1, but he can definitely win some games for you. So we're still thinking that both Carolina and Denver definitely still could be in play, for those 2 quarterbacks.
Well, I thought they were going to be holding on a lot in a situation where he could be still – try to get his job and kind of have a quarterback competition between him and Bridgewater for this year to see who the starter can truly be, maybe alternating between the two. But you're saying that they'll still pick a quarterback and probably Locke will be on his way out. Am I correct?
Correct. Okay.
So pretty much if they do draft a quarterback, that means the writing's on the wall. Locke is gone. And pretty much that would be a good little situation where, you have a quarterback like Bridgewater that can show the rookie quarterback all the tricks and trades of the business. And then hand the ball on over to him either mid-season or sometime next year. But I'm just saying, and I'm with you on that, Jeff, because when you got to get to thinking about the AFC West has three dominant quarterbacks, three quarterbacks that can lead the league in passing, touchdowns, whatever they want to be. But the only team that has the Achilles heel at the position is Denver right now at this point. So, Denver made the right decision bringing in Teddy Bridgewater, the ultimate game manager. And then, pretty much if you do bring in a rookie, it's always good to have an ultimate game manager show him the way of the game. So pretty much that is a good little analyst on that. But I still think that the Broncos are really toying with everybody. And I think that they might want to get some assets and move it down a little bit further in the draft and possibly go get another pass rusher. I'm thinking that as well, too.
Well, and they'll have the option of both those pass rushers that we talked about last week from Michigan and Miami. They're in the catbird seat. They're at 9, unless, a Washington or the Patriots move up or jump up. But I think they're sitting good, as you stated perfectly. Mahomes, Herbert, and Carr. I mean, you need a quarterback to compete in the AFC West. And again, no discredit to Teddy. I just don't think Denver, looking further down the road, thinks that that's the guy that's going to get them ahead of especially San Diego and Kansas City.
Right on. So let's go ahead, move on to our next topic. And next topic at hand, let's go ahead and jump into it. Najee Harris, he presents great value for teams drafting later in the first round. I think that he's an absolute steal here. If we were in the draft maybe 10, 15 years ago, he would be a top 10 guy. But since they don't value the running back position as much as they used to, he has to kind of get stuck in the background of this thing a little bit, Jeff. So pretty much he's going to be a very valuable player. I'm hearing New York is very interested in him. So I was thinking to myself that he might drop down and Miami might take a little spin. Even though Miami might still be drafting an Alabama guy in the top 10. And then, pretty much Najee Harris, if he's there, could possibly be a really good player for them, because I know they got to open it at the running back position somewhat. And I think that he could be very valuable to Tua, because Tua needs as much help as possible. And in my little mock draft, I had Kyle Pitts going to the Dolphins at 6. So if they were to get Najee Harris, they would be able to put their offense in a better position. But honestly, do you think that Miami's full focus is on improving the offense, or do you think that possibly that they're going to take the best player on the board? What are your thoughts?
For Miami, the way it looks like it's going to be dropping initially, I think they would love to get Pitts. I also think that obviously they'd love to get Chase. And unfortunately, if Atlanta takes Pitts and then Cincinnati, who should take Sewell to protect Burrow, takes Chase so they can reunite, now you're stuck with the two offensive linemen, whether it's Sewell or the kid from Northwestern. I think if they miss out on Pitts and Chase, that they go linemen, or again, field some phone calls, grab some more picks if you were looking at a different direction. I don't think that they would jump up a Smith or Waddle at that point. And you talk about Najee Harris. I've heard a lot about Pittsburgh, and they try to compare him to Le'Veon Bell. And I think that would be a hell of a pick for Pittsburgh to grab Harris. I think, his pass catching out of the backfield isn't talked enough about. He'd be a perfect back for the Steelers. And also heard some late interest in maybe the Jets in the Clemson back, ETN, or even the Bucks in the last pick grabbing ETN as well.
ETN is another guy that needs to be top 10 as well, too. High engine guy, and literally Trevor Lawrence needs to thank him for him having the number one spot in the draft as well, too, because ETN was really the glue guy of that team the last 4 years he was there. I don't care what anybody says, but everybody else gets all the accolades just because they just can't stand the running back position. I just think the running back position really got a bad look from the years of these guys being overpaid. You know what I mean? Guys going to places. I got several guys that were great running backs one place, then they go to the next team and then we're absolutely terrible. They would drop off the face of the NFL planet, pretty much. You know what I mean? And we've seen this plenty of times. And sometimes guys just fit right with one team, but then they go to the next team and it just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and talk some more draft real quick. And we have ourselves what the expectations in this draft, man. Do the Patriots take a quarterback, or is it just a Bill B Bluff?
I think it's a Bill B Bluff all the way. Lot of talk yesterday of the deals. Basically, they're trying to work out a contract for Jimmy G. 49ers are not going to keep him to week one, then cut him. They're not paying him the $24 million. Pats and supposedly New Orleans all of a sudden came onto the scene. I guess Sean Payton and Jimmy G have the same agent, so they're trying to stir the pot a little. What I see here happening, I think defensively, Surtain or Horn or Micah Parsons, and Surtain and Horn are going to be gone. If Parsons makes it to him, I think he'd jump there. If he doesn't, I think they trade back, and I think they pick up some more assets, some more picks, and use that as leverage to the 49ers. They have the 45th pick in the second round, so they're positioned well. I just, some places around here have them grabbing a wide receiver, whether it was Waddle or Smith. I don't see it. The last wide receiver they drafted was N'Keal Harry. That hasn't worked out well. If a Justin Fields or a Lance made it to 15, well, then I would like to see that, because I'd pay for admission for that to see exactly what he does there. I don't think it is. They talked the Stanford kid maybe has grabbed a lot of steam. Mills, he's grabbed a lot of steam. They were linked to Kelly Mond and Trask as well. So maybe day two, they would move on and get a quarterback. And I don't know if they got Jimmy G, if Cam would be willing to stick and stay, or would he try to grab and latch on somewhere else? But I'm going to say no on day one, no QB. Look more towards day two or day three with the Stanford kid, Trask or Mond.
I like Trask as well, too. I think he's a really good quarterback as well. And I think the kid from SMU is pretty good as well, too. A lot of people probably won't talk about him. He'll probably be a later on pick, but he's a pretty good quarterback as well. So pretty much with that, let's go ahead and real quick, Jeff, do you think this is a memorable draft? It's setting up like maybe the draft of 83, the draft of 89, where you saw several quarterbacks go very early in the fold, you know what I mean? And, they had all these great expectations on them and everything. Do you think this draft will be memorable? Like we'll be talking about it in 10 years about the players that were a part of it?
Well, if Atlanta takes Pitts, they'll set history, because they'll be the earliest that a tight end has ever been drafted.
Okay.
So we can start there. We think we know the first three picks, and there's 5 quarterbacks. And as you brought up the 83 year as well, that's a good comparison. I think there's a lot of playmakers here. I think there's some diamonds in the rough. I think with the NFL changing and the way the offense is, it's a score. Cincinnati, absolute no-brainer, should be grabbing Sewell. But instead, he's telling everyone he wants his wide receiver, Chase, that he used to play with. And I think he's going to win out there. So the defensive guys are sliding back. And I think the smarter teams, the ones that had a great year, that are picking from the back, you got fish in a barrel here, Pops. And so I think it will be a memorable one. I think, obviously, this the first round tonight will definitely be, and it only takes one move, one draft pick. KC moved up from 24 all the way up to 10 or 12 to get Mahomes, and the same when then Watson slid to Houston. So I'm expecting fireworks. At least we're hoping for fireworks.
I am too, Jeff. We're in Cleveland, and unpredictable things happen in Cleveland. And it's not like the guys are too worried about partying or anything like that, because where you're going to be partying at in Cleveland. So pretty much, so guys will probably be ready to go directly to the airport and go straight to their new franchises tonight as well, too. So we're going to see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But I feel like this draft can be a memorable one in a good and a bad way as well, too. And just the part I look forward to is when the reporters get to telling the stories of the players.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was raised by wolves, and so that means that his leverage should be really good. And just every if you didn't have a sad story in last year's draft, you shouldn't be drafted. That's how I felt last year. So hopefully we don't have too much of that this year, where we're talking about the downside of somebody's life story and to talk about the upside of somebody's life story. So that's just my last take on tonight's draft. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get into our hatclub.com. And hatclub.com, you guys go ahead and make an order of $50 or better, and you guys can get a 10% discount on hatclub.com. They had some awesome iceberg hats, pretty much baby blue hats, in all different designs for baseball, and they had different little memorable moments for the teams as well too. It's the very dope hat. I think I'm going to buy me about 3 of them, Jeff. So pretty much, I think I'll go get you a Red Sox one while I'm at it. All right. So you make sure, and then if your daughters need some hats, man, make sure they hit the hatclub.com, but use that promo code that we have in place for you.
Okay.
All right. So we will be back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Eagles Live.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DBacks, the PrimeTime Chapter, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, so we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, and let's go ahead and jump into Blue Crew Daily. And with Blue Crew Daily, we got ourselves a pretty funny situation going on here. We have a lot going on with the Dodgers somewhat, but you know what? The Dodgers are going to be okay. Even they got themselves a nice victory yesterday after losing the first 2 and dropping 3 out of 4 to the Padres. It really didn't matter, because at the end of the day, this team knows exactly who they are, and they know exactly where they're going to. And they pretty much went ahead and took care of their business yesterday. And it messed up a lot of underbettors who thought the 7.5 was going to be able to lock in, but it did not yesterday, even though, it's a hot day in LA. You're not going to get the under in a hot day in LA unless you got a good pitching matchup going, because that ball is flying off the bat in LA as well too. So pretty much, it is what it is at the end of the day. So we have ourselves a good team here with the Dodgers, but they're struggling. But like I told people the other day, it's just the way it is when it comes to baseball early in the year. Jeff?
I'm here.
I'm waiting on your opinion. I'm waiting on you.
Okay, I apologize. I like the 16-9 because there's a team pretty close to where I live called the Boston Red Sox that are tied right now at 16-9. Your team is locked. It's loaded. The 2 series with the Padres have been absolutely, it's been like game 7 every game. And it's been so fun to watch. You just have so much talent. You're so long. You can take a few injuries. Hey, you can take a seasoned vet like Price and tell him, hey, just go to the bullpen, will you? And, use Carrot Top and May as your 4th or 5th starter. You're fine. Like I said, you'll be ready to play in the NL championship, most likely against the Padres, unless someone gets hot. I'm just kind of laughing and smiling when I saw the 16-9. No, I'm shocked the Red Sox are 16-9. They're fun to watch. That's all we ask for. Show us that you want to play, that you're engaged, a little sense of urgency. And Cora's brought that back to Boston, and we're excited.
All right. So pretty much, you know what? They play against the Brewers today. Eric Lauer is getting the call today, former Padre. And Trevor Bauer goes up there 3-0 now. And we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. Hopefully the Dodgers can get themselves a good win today. And, man, I'm telling you right now, if you're a Dodger fan, get really excited because it's going to be a fun year. And I think that they're possibly going to make another big deal as we move along as well, too. So we'll see how it shakes out, see how it goes. And, Dodgers are in good shape. They all right. They got a game today at 4:20. They're going to be a big favorite today as well, too. So, if you guys are looking for a dog today, maybe you might want to go ahead and take a little sniff on the Brewers, the home team today, because the Dodgers are still struggling. You know what I mean? They still have lost their last they're still 3-7 in their last 10. That didn't change overnight. So pretty much we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. Will the Dodgers keep being a wounded duck, or will they get their act together? Only time will tell. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about Thursday's game 1 of the Tigers and the White Sox. We got the Tigers coming in here plus 185, White Sox minus 225. This is going to be game 1 of the series as well, too, and this is going to be a fun one here. I think what happens here is going to be a very good game, but I think that pretty much the White Sox should be able to control this one as well, too. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the Detroit's just been a Jekyll and Hyde team. They're really struggling offensively. White Sox, basically from start to finish, between pitch and bullpen and batting order, much the stronger team. Wheeling out one of their aces, actually Mr. Rondon, who had the no-hitter about 2 weeks ago. Price is real steep. I look for the White Sox to win, but again, I wouldn't be running to the window on a minus 225, that's for sure.
I heard that. That's the one where you got to play the spread and just play the spread and just call it a day. That's my opinion on this one. So pretty much that's where we're going with this one, and we move forward to the Cubbies and the Braves. And the Cubs coming in here as the dog, plus 125, Braves minus 150 today. The Cubs are a middling team this year. I knew that was probably going to happen. And the Braves are actually a team that has gotten off to pretty much a slow start, but they do have the makings of a team that looks like they're about to explode very, very soon. Jeff, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, these two teams have really been our Jekyll and Hyde this year. We've had a little success with the Cubs. We've had some success fading them as well. And Atlanta, on the other hand, we've wheeled them out a few times, and they just offensively nowhere to be found. Looking for them, they're another team, I think, once the warmer weather comes and a few of their injuries get back, or Acuna's fully healthy, let's say. The 150 price is about as high as we would go, so I would lean Braves here and hope that the Cubs pitcher who got us last time doesn't pitch as well as he did tonight against the Braves at home.
All right, so there it is. Cubs, Braves, still early in the year. This is a good matchup tonight as well, too. I think that it comes down to the final innings here as well. So we'll see how it shakes out, see how it goes. But another great spot here. And you know what? You can go either way. I see value on both sides. All right, so we move forward to our next spot, the Red Sox and the Rangers. And literally, this one was one I had messed up on earlier. You had to remind me, but my great graphics producer went ahead and he went ahead and fixed that up for me before I even had to really look into it. So much props to him. Thank you for catching that mistake. But all in all, though, Boston and the Rangers, this game is just one of those games where you got two bad pitchers going at it. Even though the Rangers pitcher is actually a little bit better now than he's been the last few games. And, when you look at it, you say to yourself, okay, Boston's hot. The Rangers are mediocre. You're going to definitely go with Boston today. But you shouldn't really put yourself in that position. You really got to go ahead and scoreboard watch here. That's how I'm feeling in this spot. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
I thought the opening number was really low, and it really smelled like a trap. Last night, we had the Rangers against Anaheim, gave up 4 in the first and scored 3 in the first 2 innings, and that was the final score, 4-3. And the Sox miraculously, win 2 games at the Mets, and they just coming off that big win against DeGrom. I smell trap here. I really do. I think actually I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers plus the 105 pick him off. Martin Perez coming back home where he did pitch for the Rangers at some point. It's been hot and cold, nothing spectacular. But I'd lean the dog here, Pops, with the Rangers plus the 105.
All right. I got you, Jeff. I got you. All right. I know Perez is the talk of Boston radio too. Like, I can't stand this guy, Perez. I did pick up Perez. You're just being cheap on the pitching. All right. So we got the Rockies at the Diamondbacks tonight. This is my dog of the day, Jeff. I like Centinela here in this spot against Luke Weaver. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rockies with the plus 135 dog world. And I think that they're going to go ahead and take care of their business tonight. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Luke Weaver never came up to be the pitcher that we thought he'd be, but, the Rockies are supposed to be the doormat of the NL or one of the doormats of the NL. And I looked today and I saw Arizona's amazingly 12-12. They put it together. And when they're scoring, they can score. You don't know which Luke Weaver is going to show up to the ballpark. For me tonight, I'd probably venture on the one that's not that good. Not a big numbers guy, but I would lean to the over 9 here.
Over 9. All right, so there it is. Okay, so pretty much that's going to be a wrap on our MLB games today. And you know what, Jeff, I want to thank you so much for coming on in today and everything like that. And pretty much, breaking it on down with your brother and talking the draft with me and everything like that. I'm going to release my mock top 10 if you didn't watch the show yesterday. So you can go ahead and dissect that for me. I'm going to see how many I check off as well, too. I know I'm going to at least get 50% of them right because I think I got the first one down for sure.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope. Maybe Urban Meyer might trick us a little bit and be like, and with the first pick in the draft, we're trading out. I'm trading Bosa.
When you go to break or you get a second, take a look at Twitter and Adam Schefter. Wait till you see this one. Sources close to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is absolutely livid with the organization, and he does not want to come back. And that's from Shefty. That's
obvious. He's hosting Jeopardy. He's looking to retire. Look, it's either get rid of me or I retire. It's the Barry Sanders standoff. It is. Think about that part. But they got the backup quarterback in place, right? Jordan Love, who was on witness protection program last year as well, too. Because it's funny, the Packers had a few blowouts and he still didn't come in the game.
No.
Was he still on the roster?
No, he was. Yeah. Okay. It was like
they didn't show one video or picture of him all season long.
No, it was like when the Patriots
not do that.
Yeah, when they Patriots drafted Jimmy G, it kind of lit a fire under Brady, and it was just like after a couple of years, he's like, he's got to go or it's me. And I think Aaron's fed up. Aaron's a strange bird anyway, so I don't know what's going on over there. But it's kind of amazing the news that comes out right before the draft, So maybe that's tying together why San Fran called the Packers and said, hey, do you want the number 3 pick, Jimmy G, and a couple other things for Rodgers? I don't know. But it's crazy out there on social media.
Yep. And Adam Schefter's right in the middle of everything as usual.
Absolutely.
Right in the middle of everything in the playground. Nosy. All right, Jeff. Always a pleasure, brother. Hopefully, I'll bring you back Monday if you're not too busy. But you know what? We'll bring you back some point during the week. But my man, you guys go ahead and send out your handles real quick before we get to our commercial.
All right. Anyone not following us, go on Twitter at EC Sports Invest. Check out our website at www.eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. Send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. All our social medias is on East Coast Sports Investors. So if you follow us, we'll follow you back. We'll answer any question that you might have. Pops, as always, blessed, honored, and we'll check up. Big day for you on Saturday, Kentucky Derby. Good luck, and hopefully we'll connect on Monday or Tuesday of next week.
All right, rock your world.
There you go.
Rock your world. I'm telling you, 7-2 at minimum.
All right.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, later.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and check out Paramount Plus. You guys make sure to get into the VXX promo code, and you guys will reap the benefits from that. And you guys can go ahead and watch my favorite show, Bar Rescue, all episodes. That John Taffer boy, I'm telling you, he's crazy. So pretty much you guys check them all out, Paramount Plus, promo code VSX, and we will be right back with the premier sports bet show with the one and only Pop DBacks, the primetime.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? We are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. And let's go ahead and get into the NBA, my favorite sport. I like the way the ball dribbles up and down the court. All right, state of the Lakers. This is frustrating, man. The Lakers were a victim. The Lakers were a victim of the Washington Wizards last night. It was absolutely terrible. Pretty much the Wizards are going to get the sweep on the Lakers this year. And that's kind of, man, that's just, come on, Lake Show. Wizards aren't even that good, but yeah, they are pretty much one of the hottest teams in the league. Now 10 out of 11 wins, 10-1 in their last 11. It happens, and the Lakers kind of sparked this a little bit because when they were at their absolute worst, they got a surprise victory over the Lakers with LeBron in the house. You know what I mean? So this, to me, is kind of like the Lakers showing that they can't stop Russell Westbrook, who had a hell of a game last night. And you know what? Shouts out to Russell Westbrook, the former bench guy over at UCLA. You know, I've been following Russell Westbrook's whole career pretty much. Not in the NBA, but in college. And it was crazy how he got his spot because he had to wait for certain guys to get hurt for a little bit for him to get even a look. He almost became just a UCLA bench guy, but it wasn't because he wasn't talented. It was because they were a very talented team. So pretty much, you know, what happens here is that you got Russell Westbrook, who always plays with a big chip on his shoulder, and it showed last night. And I think that maybe he might have been just rehearsing for the Lakers as well, too, because we all know that this Washington thing is not going to last as long as it looks, okay? They just went ahead and said they'll take on his big-ass contract, and they'll go on from there. You know what I mean? I don't think they have any plans of resigning him, but knowing the way that Westbrook goes about things, he might want to stick around in the D.C. area and help out a little bit. That's why I think Brad Beal wants to stick around and help a little bit as well, too. And for a moment there, John Wall loved being in D.C. as well, too. So, pretty much they could be building something here, but that was a bad loss for the Lakers last night. And I think that AD, he has to really get himself back into shape. I think that pretty much it's going to take a few games for him to get all the way back. But really, I think he'll be all the way back when LeBron comes back and is in his ear on the court left and right in the game. So, pretty much Laker fans, don't get all beside yourself about this one. It's okay. They get to come home this weekend. They're going to play against the Kings Friday. Then they have another game Sunday. They're on a quick 3-game homestand that I think that they should sweep out in as well too, because now you know that you're at the finish line. You're at the stretch of things, and pretty much everything should work itself out at the end of the day for the Lakers. But I still think that when you really go ahead and look at this thing, the Lakers are going to have to start really being accountable for certain things that they're doing on the court. We got Markieff Morris, who's missed the last 21 threes in his last 5 games. He's 0 for 21 in his last 5. That's going to have to get fixed very soon. And I think Trez got to get more playing time as well, too. I know everybody likes to have Drummond here, and everybody's really excited about him, but I think we got to get Trez more playing time at that position because he seems to be our best option other than AD at the center spot when it comes to the offensive end of it. But all in all, though, the Lakers will be okay, as I keep saying every day almost now. And, just trust Pop. I got you. So that's the state of the Lakers. Let's go ahead and skip into our next game. And our next one is going to be a good one here for the NBA preview. But actually, before that, let's get you got to play or not? Okay, no problem. So pretty much I was going to talk about the player tonight, but we'll bring that up in a moment. Now we have the Pistons and the Mavericks, and the Pistons coming in here as a 8-point dog tonight, over under a 214.5. You have a Mavericks team that's playing really good basketball at this moment, and you got a Pistons team that is no slouch. They don't lay down for anybody, it seems like. But you know what? The Mavs feeling themselves immensely. They got a big 30-point win the other night against the Warriors. They went ahead and won 9 out of 6 games this month. So 9 out of 15 this month. So they're 9-6 in the month of April. And then you have yourself the Pistons will come into this one fighting, scrapping, being, doing what they got to do to stick around and get guys to stick around. But it is what it is. They keep falling short, but they did get a good win against Atlanta on Monday night. So with 2 days worth of rest, this team could loom a danger as well, too. But we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out, and we move forward from there. Now we have ourselves the Nets and the Pacers, and the Nets and the Pacers present a pretty good game tonight. We got the Nets coming in here as a 5-point favorite as well tonight. And then we got the Pacers actually – they're plus 8.5, but they've been bet down to 5 because Kyrie is out of the game tonight, and the Nets have won their last 4 out of 5, while the Pacers had won 3 in a row, but then dropped their last game to the Blazers, losing that game by 21 points. So, they're looking to try to get themselves back into the flow and keep themselves afloat to get into the playoffs, but even though they're going to have to be a part of the play-in, but we're going to see how it goes. The Nets, they should be all right tonight, even though, they don't have Kyrie tonight. I think KD should be in the game, so we'll see how it shakes out. And we got the Nets and the Pacers, should be a good one. All right, we move on, and we have ourselves the Bucks and the Rockets. And the Bucks and the Rockets looks like it can be a once a game, but then it looks like it could be a game that the Rockets keep close as well too. Never sleep on the Rockets because they got a bunch of scrappers on that team, a bunch of guys that don't know no better. You know what I mean? A lot of guys are playing for their spot for next year as well too. So the Bucks at the Rockets. This should be a good one. We have Giannis coming into this one, feeling real good about himself. You know, he's been killing it this year. He's actually having a real MVP season to me this year, but he's not going to win the MVP though. So pretty much the Bucks and Rockets, this one presents a lot of different opportunities that you can embark on and bet on in this game as well too. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But Bucks at the Rockets, let's go. All right, Raptors Nuggets. This is this is going to be Pelicans Thunder, and Pelicans Thunder is going to be a fun one tonight. Even though the Thunder coming in here as a 9-point dog tonight, and then you have yourself a very you have yourself a team in the Thunder who lost pretty much the whole month, and they find themselves 1-14 in the month of April. So, you know, are they desperate to get a back-to-back victory tonight? We don't know. And then you got the Pelicans who struggled mightily. They're coming off a 4-game losing streak and split their last 4. So pretty much in their last this month was a very inconsistent month because they would be winning and then they would be losing. So, you know, the Pelicans are scraping on by and most likely will be missing the playoffs this year as well, too. And that would be year number 2 with Zion, that they miss out on the playoffs as well. But you know what? They got a lot of assets to make a lot of moves in the summertime as well, too. All right, so we move on to our final game. That's going to be the Raptors and the Nuggets tonight. And the Raptors and Nuggets, hold on. We got Raptors and Nuggets, right? Okay, so Raptors and Nuggets is the final game of the night. It's a good one. That's going to be our dog of the day as well, too. So pretty much with that, let's go ahead and check out Fubo TV. And pretty much there it is with the Fubo and Fubo TV. You guys can go ahead and get the live sports and everything of that nature. And, you know, check it on out, live TV. You guys can go get 7 days free on me in the show description. So go ahead and press the link and have some fun with that. You guys can go ahead and pay $55 a month if you do want to keep it, and there will be no credit check as well too. So there it is, Fubo TV. Check them on out. 7 days free on me, and we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Eggs Live.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back with the stretch drive of the show, and let's go ahead and get into talking tickets. And talking tickets, we have ourselves a pretty good ticket today with the primetime pick 675 to 1.5 on the White Sox game 1, Cubs money line plus 110. Then we have the over 7.5 with the Dodgers and the Brewers, and then we have the Red Sox money line minus 115, the over 6 with the Tigers and the White Sox game 2, and then last but not least, the dog of the day plus 135 on the Rockies. Once again, that's a 75 to 1 ticket. Single what you like. All right, so we have the NBA Super High 5 at 31 to 1, and we have the over 214.5, and we have with the Mavs and Pistons, the plus 8.5 with the Pacers, the over 234 with the Bucks and the Rockets, the Raptors money line plus 125, and the minus 9.5 on the Pelicans. And once again, this is a 31 to 1 ticket. Single what you like, and we will go from there. All right, so that's talking tickets for you. So you guys can go ahead and bet all these up at UWager, where the world bets at, and you guys can use the promo code VSXPOP. And once again, you guys can go ahead and get yourself a 50% match deposit, and you guys will get say you put up 300, you get back 150 on a free play, and then your sports betting journey begins on them. So pretty much check them on out, UWager, and that will be a wrap on that. So I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in today. Big weekend ahead of us. Tomorrow will be the Kentucky Oaks, so you guys make sure to catch Horsing Around, that which will be available at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So you guys make sure to check it out. I'll be talking Santa Anita and talking the Oaks as well too. And then Saturday we'll be having our Kentucky Derby, a little bit of a Kentucky Derby preview, and I'll have you guys the late pick for you as well too in that group. And so you guys make sure to check out Horsing Around. But tomorrow we'll be back. I'm working on trying to bring in a guest as well too for tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. It's a surprise guest too that has a lot to do with this weekend when it comes down to this to the races and everything like that. So you guys make sure to tune on in for that. I'll make the announcements as soon as we confirm. So pretty much I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in today. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. And the movement is moving. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.